Good morning and welcome back to English online class, my dear students. Last we saw a poem, Different Like Me. Now we saw the answer, okay? First extract. The speaker of the poem is A. A.K. Ramanujan. B. Amit Chaudhary. C. Thomas. What is the correct answer? Thomas. Very good. Second question. The word wiggle means A. To have short movement. B. Quiet. C. Naughty. What is the answer? To have short movement. Third question. The word jiggle means move lightly and quickly, move fast and fast, very slow. What is the answer? Move lightly and quickly is the correct answer. Fourth one, pretend antonyms. Pretend word ஓட antonyms என்னது? To make believe, genuine, fake. What is the correct answer? Genuine. Okay. Next we saw the question and answer. Lesson 7, a miracle. Okay. Okay. First question. How did Helen lose her sight and hearing? Answer. When she was 18 months old, she caught an illness, either scarlet fever or meningitis, and lost her sight and hearing because of it. Answer. When she was 18 months old, she caught an illness, either scarlet fever or meningitis, and lost her sight and hearing because of it. Second question. Why did Helen turn into a difficult child? Answer. Little Helen turned into a terror and tormentor as she tried hard to get used to a world without sight or sound, looking wild and unkempt. Helen became a very difficult child. Answer. Little Helen turned into a terror and tormentor as she tried hard to get used to a world without sight or sound, looking wild and unkempt. Helen became a very difficult child. Third question. Who was Annie Sullivan? Annie Sullivan, a former student of the institution. Fourth question. What kind of a person was Annie? Answer. Annie worked to help Helen understand these words and to control her temper as well. Answer. Annie worked to help Helen understand these words and to control her temper as well. Roman letter second. Answer in brief. How is Helen's success related to Annie? Answer. Annie had been teaching Helen for less than a month before the afternoon of the miracle, when Helen learnt water on the same afternoon. One of the first words Helen asked to learn was teacher. From then on, Helen made great progress. Annie first taught Helen to read with raised letters and then with braille. She also taught her people to type with both ordinary and braille typewriters. Answer. Annie had been teaching Helen for less than a month before the afternoon of the miracle, when Helen learnt water on the same afternoon. One of the first words Helen asked to learn was teacher. From then on, Helen made great progress. Annie first taught Helen to read with raised letters and then with braille. She also taught her people to type with both ordinary and braille typewriters. Second question. Who was Graham Bell? How did he help Helen's parents? Answer. Her family looked for help, and the doctor sent them to an expert on the problems of deaf children, Alexander Graham Bell, better known for inventing the telephone. Bell put them in touch with the director of the Perkins Institution and Massachusetts Asylum for the Blind. They asked the director to find Helen a teacher, and he recommended Annie Sullivan, a former student of the institution. Answer: her family looked for help, and the doctor sent them to an expert of the problems of deaf children, Alexander Graham Bell, better known for inventing the telephone. Bell put them in touch with the director of the Perkins Institution and Massachusetts Asylum for the Blind. They asked the director to find Helen a teacher, and he recommended Annie Sullivan, a former student of the institution. Okay, thank you, students. Students, now we see another one lesson. The lesson name is Where is God's Perfection? Okay. How would you treat a person who is differently abled? Do you think it requires a lot of patience and understanding on our part? First para. In Brooklyn, New York, Chess is a school that caters to the teaching of disabled children. Caters means to provide, okay? To provide the teaching of a disabled children. Some children remain in Chess for their entire school career, while others can be mainstreamed into conventional schools. At a Chess fundraising dinner, the father of a Chess child delivered a speech that would never be forgotten by all who attended. After extolling the school and its dedicated staff, he cried out, "Where is the perfection in my son Shaya? Everything God does is done with perfection. But Shaya child cannot understand things as other children do. My child cannot remember facts and figures as other children do. Where is God's perfection?" The audience were shocked by the question, pained by the father's anguish. Anguish means worry. Stilled by the piercing query. Piercing means shrill, high-pitched. Query means question. I believe the father answered that when God brings a child like this into the world, the perfection that he seeks is in the way people react to this child. He then told the following story about his son Shaya. One afternoon, Shaya and his father walked past a park where some boys Shaya knew were playing baseball. Shaya asked, "Do you think they will let me play?" Shaya's father knew that his son was not at all athletic and that most boys would not want him on their team. But Shaya's father understood that if his son was chosen to play, it would give him a comfortable sense of belonging. Shaya's father approached one of the boys in the field and asked if Shaya could play. The boy looked around for guidance from his teammates. Getting none, he took matters into his own hand and said, "We are losing by 6 runs and the game is in 8th inning. I guess he can be on our team and we will try to put him up to bat in the 9th inning." Shaya's father was ecstatic as Shaya smiled broadly. Shaya was told to put on a glue and go out to play short center field. In the bottom of the 8th inning, Shaya's team scored a few runs but was still behind by 3. In the bottom of the 9th inning, Shaya's team scored again, and now with 2 outs and the bases loaded with the potential winning run on base, Shaya was scheduled to be up. Would the team actually let Shaya bat at this juncture and give away their chance to win the game? Surprisingly, Shaya was given the bat. Everyone knew that it was all but impossible because Shaya didn't even know how to hold the bat properly, let alone hit with it. However, as Shaya stepped up to the plate, the pitcher moved a few steps to lob the ball in softly, so Shaya should at least be able to make contact. Next, the first pitch came in and Shaya swung badly and or awkwardly and missed. One of Shaya's teammates came up to Shaya and together they held the bat and faced the pitcher, waiting for the next pitch. The pitcher again took a few steps forward to toss the ball softly towards Shaya. As the pitch came in, Shaya and his teammates swung at the bat and together they hit a slow ground ball to the pitcher. The pitcher picked up the soft grounder and could easily have thrown the ball to the first baseman. Shaya would have been out and that would have ended the game. Instead, the pitcher took the ball and threw it on a high arc to right field, far beyond the reach of the first baseman. Everyone started yelling, "Shaya, run to run, run to run." Never in his life had Shaya run too fast. He scrambled down the baseline, wide-eyed and startled. By the time he reached first base, the right fielder had the ball. He could have thrown the ball to the second baseman, who would tag out Shaya, who was still running, but the right fielder understood what the pitcher's intentions were. So he threw the ball high and far over the third baseman's head. Everyone yelled, "Run to second, run to second." Shaya ran towards second base as the runners ahead of him deliriously circled the bases towards home. As Shaya reached second base, the opposing shortstop ran to him, turned him in the direction of third base, and shouted, "Run to third." As Shaya rounded third, the boys from both teams ran behind him, screaming, "Shaya, run home!" Shaya ran home, stepped on home plate, and all 18 boys lifted him on their shoulders and made him the hero, as he had just hit a grand slam and won the game of his team. That day, said the father softly with the tears now rolling down his face. Those 18 boys reached their level of God's perfection. It's a very good story, no? Okay, now I say the question and answers. Okay, I'll have it write down neatly. Thank you, students.